UFL, right? Shout out to the UFL, man. Obviously, they just finished up week 7, and it's not even a full recap, man. But shout out to the fact they still sticking on, going strong, man. Keeping the product entertaining nonetheless. And it was something very entertaining that took place as I was watching the game this weekend. It's like I said, man, when I'm watching these games, man, they're on. And it's kind of like good background noise. But then it's sometimes when you actually look and you're like, yo, I know that player right there. I know this player right here. All right, I'm familiar with that guy, seeing him either at college or professionally. And, it sparks a good memory or sparks a good feeling about it. So as I'm watching this Arlington Renegades versus the Michigan Panthers game, I'm seeing Bob Stoops, right? You remember Bob Stoops, Oklahoma. I'm like, all right, shout out to Bob. Okay, so I definitely was digging that. And I'm seeing all the other players. I'm like, okay, cool. See my man, Tyler Vaughns. I'm like, hold on now. I remember big Tyler Vaughns. Y'all remember Tyler Vaughns from the preseason, 2 years ago, cooking up with Kenny Pickett and Mitch Trubisky and Mason Rudolph? Like, yeah, that Tyler Vaughns. He's still over here cooking in the UFL too, man. All right. He was on a heater this weekend, man. Tyler Vaughns is putting up some numbers, man. Unfortunately, them boys lost, but Tyler Vaughns, he looked the part. All right, let me pull up his official stats from this game, just so that way y'all know I ain't playing with y'all. All right, my man, yo, he been doing his thing. All right, let me pull up his officials, man. Tell it to homie Tyler Vaughns, man. Oh, if I can find it real quick, I might not be able to. Oh, man. So this is what happens when you got like 30 different things. You got like your phone, you got your computer over here, you got your tablet over here, you got all this different stuff, man. I'm over here like, yo, where is the thing that I was just looking for? Here we go. So yeah, right now, man, in their little, situation, you got 27 catches, about 300 yards, and he got a tight end that thing, man. But it was like, yo, in this game, man, I'm watching him, and he's looking good. He's playing well. And right before halftime, right, I'm watching him move. Okay, watching him move. Right before halftime, we get a big-time touchdown pass, right? Luis Perez. All right, throws a touchdown pass to my man Tyler Vaughns. And I'm over here like, all right, bet. Momentum shifts, man. They take the lead. It's big-time play, walk off right as time is about to expire. Love it. And then it's no flag on the play. They got this thing called the coach's super challenge. So they challenge the touchdown catch. I'm talking, it was beautiful. He extends the play, runs out, throws across the body, back in the end zone, touchdown, right? Tyler Vaughns. Look good. I'm over here like, shout out to Vaughns, right? I'm shout out to Vaughns, man. But then the super challenge comes out. And I'm like, okay, well, what are we challenging here? If, are we challenging, did he survive the catch? Was he in bounds? Was, what did the quarterback cross line of scrimmage for throwing? I'm like, what are we challenging here, right? Because all that stuff seemed pretty standard. Everything was good. They were challenging the no call. It was a no call on a hold on the offensive lineman. And they threw a challenge flag, the opposing coach did, to challenge that specific play. So, said touchdown pass, look good, extends the play, looks good. They show the replay, and they're like, yep. I think it was Dean Blandino at the time. He's talking, he's like, yep, that's a hole. We got to wipe the touchdown off the board. We're going to move him back. I'm like, whoa. They end up settling for a field goal. Fast forward, they lose the game 25-24. Yeah. I said, oh, hold on now. Hold on now. I can dig it, in terms of getting the game right. I can dig it in terms of, the foul already being out there. And now we challenged that. But I was like, whoa, that was a little bit different for me. I said, yo, we could overturn a non-holding call and bring it back. Oh, yeah. Wow. Not only do you take points off the board, you end up losing the game by 1. I'm like, holy smokes, man. What are we freaking talking about here? And it was for a hold. And let me tell you the truth. As a pass rusher, I'm not calling it hold. Was it a hold? Yes. But as a pass rusher, does that happen every single play? Does that happen every single time you see TJ Watt rush the passer? The guy's up around your shoulders, right? You rip the Debo. They called it a hold. I'm like, whoa. Now, if you threw the flag and you called it a hole in that moment, cool. Because to me, that's one of those ones that's very subjective. By the letter of the laws of the hole, sure. But by the letter of the law, when we say you can call hold every single play, this is what we're referring to. But my man challenged the call. And yes, they deemed it a hold and took points off the board. Now, granted, you get 2 super challenges from the coach where you can challenge penalties or non-penalties to see if there should have been a call. I remember, do y'all remember when they could challenge pass interference? And we could change that following the Saints Rams NFC Championship game, right? Nicole Roby, shout out to the homie, right? And how he ran into the receiver, but they ain't call it, losing overtime. And then was like, all right, we're going to allow you to challenge pass interference. And they never overchanged anything. It was like, bro, nothing is getting overturned. We're challenging, but nothing changes. Like, we're just wasting time here. This one was crazy to me, though. And I had to bring it up because let's not act like the NFL doesn't use the UFL to try out rules and then we adopt the ones that we like. Where do you think the kickoff rule came from? That alignment? We've never seen anything close to that in the NFL. You've never seen anything close to that in college. First time you saw that on camera was a year ago when or 2 years ago when the UFL and the USFL and the XFL started implementing that stuff, man. And from then, now we've seen it evolve and the NFL started talking with the UFL and say, yo, y'all do certain things. We'll see if we like it at your level. And if we do, we'll implement it and try it out at our level. So it's already been some of that, turnover. Some of that cross pollutioning, from UFL to NFL. We've also talked about how they already had been doing the automated first down marker, right? We're no longer going to have the chain guys run out in the middle of the field, stick it down. All right, pull the chain. Oh, it's not too tight, not too loose. Now, what is the NFL implementing this year? Automated first downs, right? They saying the same thing now. Hey, we're going to use the same technology. So I'm just over here like, how do y'all feel about that rule, man? Is that something that y'all would potentially be open to? Because I know fans always want to get it right. A lot of them do. And we've seen how people lose their mind behind pass interference or no pass interference or certain calls that should have been a hold, that shouldn't have been a hold. But imagine if we are able to actually do these super challenges in the threshold. And that's the other part, right? The threshold. Because Dean Blandino, who used to be in the NFL as one of the lead officials, now works in the UFL as their head guy. And what he said was at the NFL, the threshold that had to be, checked to overchange a pass interference call was so high that it was pretty much impossible to ever have a call truly be overturned. And that's why it was such a, failure of an attempt to add that to the NFL. At the UFL, they said the threshold is a lot lower. They simply look at the threshold and they say this: as officials, if I'm grading this official after the game, if I deem this play and I would have said it was a negative for him, then the call should be changed. If I would have said that he got a positive on this play, then the call is correct and it stays there. As simple as that is, I kind of like that thought process. I do, because I'm like, it's certain calls and I'm like, why would you allow that to happen? But if you wouldn't have marked him as a negative on that play, don't complain about it then. But if you're saying that, that would have been wrong, then yeah, go ahead and change the call. I just don't know how that plays out, though, man, when you're talking about the potential of a game-winning or a momentum-shifting DK Metcalf 70-yard touchdown catch, and they call it back on a hold that wasn't even called a hold on Broderick Jones. And we're looking at him blocking and riding Myles Garrett past the quarterback, but because it's the iffiness of it, they changed that call. And you turn around, you lose by 1. I don't know, bro. I don't know. But y'all got to let me know that, man. Y'all got to let me know how y'all feel about that one. But yeah, man, I figured we would talk about that for just a little bit, man, when I saw that, because, yeah, I was just like, yo, that's a lot. That's tough for me, man. That is tough for me, man. But shout out to the UFL, though, man. And like I said, we will see, man. We've already adopted some of their, like I said, kickoff rules, some of the first down rules. We're flirting with them a lot. All right, we letting them be the crash. We letting them do the dummy mission first to see if it's good or not, and then we taking just what we like out of that to make our game better, man. But yeah. Shout out to Mike Hood. He says, I would be on board if we won the game. And if you're not, then he says he would not be on board, which I could totally understand that, baby. In fact, I ain't even got to say that. I'm just put your comment up there. I'll be on board if we won. Laughing out loud. Not if we lost, though. I'm with you, man. I am with you. That's my thing, man. I'm just like, that's kind of nuts, man. It's one thing if it's called. Like I said, if it's called already, I'm down with it, man. Cool, man. We can reverse that, but for it to not be called and that I'm like, yo, that just seems like a lot to me, man. Just seems like a lot. But they got a lot of stuff they've added over there, though, man. When you're talking about they were adding body cams so you can actually see what it looks like as the players running and making their moves out there. You got the microphones, you can hear all the stuff that I love being able to hear. Like I said, the coach to player communication, man. I think that's pretty daggone cool. But they also have, 8 green dots or 8 mics in the helmets. Whereas, NFL wise, we only have 2, one on offense, one on defense. They had 8 dudes out there, man. 8 dudes with microphones. It's craziness, man. Absolute craziness when you're talking about some of the stuff they're doing. But shout out to the UFL though, man. They're continuing to stay relevant enough, stay interesting enough, and ultimately, man, we will see what those dudes continue to do, from a long-term perspective, man. But like I said, man, don't forget to hit that like button one time for the culture and subscribe if you are new to the channel.